kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody into Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the Racer Elite Xfinity Series head to Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Mike Taboni up in the booth, joined with me, Alan Bergen. How is it going, Alan?
It's going good. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway to the weekend.
Yeah, definitely halfway through to this holiday weekend here. Going back through looking at last week's race result, Ronnie Norman led 15 laps, was able to bring home the win. Kyle Cooper was up for second. Andrew Teff finishing third, led the most laps, but couldn't quite bring home the victory, but it was at Indianapolis on the oval. They only had one caution for 3 laps, so we had 8 different leaders. So look for a little bit more of the same tonight as they start drafting around here at this new Atlanta, as they get ready to make their qualifying bid. Let's go do a quick rundown on the points. Andrew Teff is the leader with 168 points. Ronnie Norman closes that gap to -8, and then Kyle Cooper, Alex Teft, and then you go back to Corey Corral and Todd Slauson, Austin. John Smith looking to try and get into the championship hunt, as he is 29 back. Ira Kohaas and AJ Coughlin also in there as well, inside that top 10. Let's see who's out on track right now.
And it's the 9 car of John Schollenbacher making his first qualifying laps of the night.
Yeah, definitely. It is that new Atlanta. They're going to be drafting around here a little bit more like a Daytona than you would see at the old Atlanta. Driver that just completed his first lap is Dennis Kane, up to the top of the board with a 32.61 as he's rolling through, headed to his second lap.
Yeah, you're gonna see tonight. You're gonna see racing that you normally see at Daytona. This mile and a half here, it races more like a super speedway now since they reconfigured it.
Yeah, definitely there. Dennis King goes a little bit faster on his second lap of 32.36, but Kyle Cooper, last week's P2, comes up with a 32.32 on his second lap. Truth Hoke ran a pretty decent race last week, tried to stay out of trouble, wound up with a decent finish there. Second time by is a 32.45 for Truth there. Corey Kroll making his way around his second lap. First lap was a 32.94. So you'll see these guys try and qualify, and it'll almost be similar to a super speedway. You want to kind of get kind of high in the corners, try and get more speed into your car, and then try and stay as close as you can to that bottom line to get as much speed and least amount of track as they go through their qualifying run here. And Kroll goes up 32.34.
Yeah, right now they're trying to beat Kyle Cooper's 32.32, and the only driver right now that's gotten close to it is Jarrett Larder and that number 2 Chevrolet. I think Austin Smith, he's been one of those guys that I've been watching really closely all season long so far. And there you have it. He's at the top of the board with a 32.27. So he's going to be one of those guys to watch tonight.
Yeah, he definitely will. He definitely has the qualifying run. He's looking to try and get a championship here. It's the only series he didn't win the championship in last season, as AJ Coughlin finishes his second lap with a 32.30. Joshua Neal, first time by, was a 32.74. Brandon Honeycutt, a 33.02. So we'll see if they can go faster second time by.
Yeah, Joshua Neal, he's been one of those guys that have really made big improvements here in the Xfinity series as the season goes on. So look for him to come on strong there at the end.
And Joshua Neal and Brandon Honeycutt run almost identical times. Joshua Neal just a little bit faster, 32.37 to Brandon Honeycutt's 32.37. So they'll go down to thousandths of a second to separate them out. Aaron Markey down here running his first lap of 32.68.
I like that line he's taking around the corners there. It looks like he's about a half lane up off the bottom. And Mike, some guys may not qualify. This may be even a strategy move too. They may want to start in the back and try to avoid the wreck also. So we're probably gonna have the big one tonight. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, definitely. Lee Campbell here, 32.63, first time by. Coming out of turn 4, headed to the front stretch here. A little bit faster, 32.38. Brandon Puffenbarger in that 5 machine goes 6th fastest there with the 32.33. A lot of these guys are pretty close to each other. Other than Austin Smith, everybody's within a couple hundredths of a second.
Yeah, this track has a ton of grip in it, Mike, and these guys are gonna almost be running similar times even throughout the race. It's all gonna come down to who's gonna be your friend at the end, and who's gonna give you the best pushes at the end whenever it comes down to the bitter end of this race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be who's your friend and how long are they going to hang out with you there. As Slauson comes through 8th quickest with a 32.36, rocking the Santa scheme there.
I love it.
Andrew Teff, first time by, was a 32.61. If he can go any faster. Ronnie Norman with a 33.05, last week's winner. Second time by for Teft. 32.42. Ronnie Norman coming out of 4, headed to the front stretch here. See what they will score that lap as, a 32.38.
Unfortunately, Daniel Honeycutt does not have the target scheme on the car.
Yeah, looks like he didn't have time to paint his Xfinity one, but last night he definitely had the target, met his goal of the 15X. Definitely looked like he was not having the greatest run there, as he's probably going to be somewhere in the 33. Oh, looks like they didn't even allow that lap.
Yeah, I guess he must have brushed the wall or something.
Yeah, it looks like Kinsley Smith had the same thing happen, as he's about halfway through his second lap and doesn't have a scored lap either. Diego Rodriguez in the 24 Chevy here, a 32.90, first time by. Diego said he's feeling a little bit better than he did last night, so he was running pretty well last night till he got caught up in a little incident there and wound up getting a lap down. But
yeah, Daniel Honeycutt mustered up a ninth place time with a 32.34 there on the second lap.
yeah, Diego Rodriguez finishing his second lap. See if he goes any faster. Looks like he will. A 32.38. Alex Teft, first time by in the Affleck 43 Ford with a 32.54 as he's coming down the backstretch here. Evening, Michael. Evening, Josh. And, of course, Corey. Always cheering on his teammates, Midwest Motorsports.
Yep.
Coming to the front stretch is Teft. A little bit faster, 32.42. A lot of these guys, looks like we're going to have a few groupings here because we got basically from third through what, 20th here are all separated by a tenth of a point, like a tenth of a second, like crazy.
So I want to point out too that Gordon, Spain, Hoffenberger, and Jarrett, 7th, 8th, and 9th, or excuse me, 6th, 7th, and 8th, they're all identical times. And then you go up here to 3rd and 4th, they're all the exact same time. So this is going to be a really good fun race here in Atlanta.
Yeah, it definitely is. As they get set here, I'm gonna run down the grid real quick. Let's see, Austin Smith with a 32.271. AJ Coughlin's going to start to his outside. Kyle Cooper and Ian Campbell in row 2. Row 3, Jarrett Larder and Gordon Spain. Row 4, Brandon Puffenbarger and Matthew Jarrett. Daniel Honeycutt and Corey Kroll right there in row 5. Row 6 is Todd Slauson and Dennis Kane. Go on back to Joshua Neal and Brandon Honeycutt. And we've got Kinsley Smith and Diego Rodriguez in row 8. Row 9, Lee Campbell and George Sprinkle. Ronnie Norman, last week's winner, starting in row 10 alongside Andrew Teft. And we got Alex Teft and Rocco Stallone in 21st, 22nd. Truth Hoke and Jeremy Carter in row 12. Row 13 is Shane Backler and Aaron Marquise. Then you got Shane Askew and Michael Brooks bringing up the tail end of the field here tonight.
And these guys are getting all formed up. Tonight, Mike, I'm going to be watching Austin Smith. I think he's going to be the class of the field tonight. He just needs to stay out of trouble and put a whole race together. And then the other guy I'm watching right now is going to be Andrew Tuft. He's the point leader coming into tonight. And he's got a tough road to hoe tonight to get to the front.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look out for after seeing the way some of these guys ran last week and through the season. Some of the faster guys seem to had a little bit of trouble qualifying here as the pace car makes its left-hand turn. Austin Smith will lead him to green here. And it looks like Kyle Cooper is right on his bumper as they get going. Austin Smith gets about a car length on the outside lane of AJ Coughlin as they come barreling into turn number 1 here.
Yeah, it looks like that inside line is going to help Austin Smith out for a short term as they try to get something going on the outside line coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, you're going to see them kind of move inside, outside, try and find where their friends are and who can push. You definitely want to be able to hold that wheel steady as Ian Campbell is around. He is going backwards down the front stretch.
That's a tough break on lap number 1.
So like we were saying, you got to be able to hold that wheel steady. As you can see, Kyle Cooper kind of bounced in and out, trying to figure out where he wants to be here. And then Ian Campbell gets into that outside wall just a little bit and tries to correct, gets loose, and the 33 of Gordon Spain has really no choice as he was trying to slow down and just winds up running right into the back of him.
Yeah, it looks like the 80 car of Matthew Jarrett got a piece.
Yeah, it looks like
and then
Dennis Kane tried to avoid it and got hit by Lee Campbell. Lee Campbell as they were coming down. Brandon Honeycutt around as well, coming down pit lane. So definitely going to shake up the start of the race here.
And I think Brandon Honeycutt and Lee Campbell should be alleviated of their penalties for trying to come down pit road and avoid any more calamity.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. On the plus side, for Daniel Honeycutt, he didn't look like he was involved in that one.
Yeah, it looks like he just had to make an evasive move coming down pit road. But nonetheless, we're under caution at lap 1. So we're off to a great start. Which Austin Smith does not want to see too many of these cautions tonight.
Talking with Austin earlier, he said something about forcing it 3 wide, but it's going to be hard to do if he's out front.
Yeah, and back to that replay, it just looked like Ian Campbell got a little out of shape, and around came the car, and at that point, there's no saving it.
Yeah, that's definitely the way it looked. So this is a quad oval, just over 1.5 miles in length. Turns are banked at 28 degrees. Straightaways are 5. So you'll see these guys when they're coming off of the corner, especially later in the run. That is where you'll see them start to get a little bit squirrely when those tires start to wear out too.
Yeah, Mike, and the thing you gotta note too is if you want on the first initial start, Austin Smith really didn't take off in the restart zone. Like, he was keeping up at speed, but it looked like he didn't take off till he was almost to the flag stand.
Yeah, I imagine that is going to change on this restart here. They got them all stacked back up. We'll see how this restart is going to shape up here. Pace car is going to make that left-hand turn. Austin Smith is going to have the button. Has a new driver to his outside, a new driver behind him. Austin Smith in that restart zone, and he's down and away, and AJ Coughlin is right on his rear bumper, not letting him get away at all as they come down out of that quad oval into turn number 1, and they are hooked up.
Yeah, it looks like AJ Coughlin and Austin Smith are trying to get a 2-car breakaway to going as that second line is trying to form up, but they can't get nothing going out there, and I don't think anybody's daring to come out there and try anything yet. So it looks like Jared Lauder's been hung out to dry, as those guys are running real close to the wall, him and Daniel Honeycutt.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're trying to get something going, but it doesn't look like they're running the same line. They're running a little bit similar, but definitely not the same. And the guy to watch is in that number 8 Budweiser car there, and that's Ronnie Norman. We're on lap 6, and he's already up 13 positions, and he's got that Budweiser 8 moving to the front, and he has found his teammate Todd Slauson just in front of him there.
Yeah, that's a dangerous combination for those two. Once those two get hooked up, it's game over for everybody else.
I would say it was almost 3 wide there, as Todd Slauson was looking to the middle between Cooper and Kroll.
Most definitely, Mike, and Austin Smith, better watch out because Santa Claus is coming to town, buddy.
Now Corey Kroll up on that high line, and he is making it work with Kyle Cooper behind him, giving him a push. Brandon Puffenbarger also jumping into that high line, and that high line is coming towards the front as they slowly are making their way through here.
Yeah, what we're seeing now is pace laps at 180 miles an hour, and you can see these two. They got 2 distinct lines. They got a high line and a low line, and Austin Smith is content riding that low line, but here comes Corey Kroll on the outside, and he's bringing Kyle Cooper with him there in the number 73 Burger King Chevrolet.
Yeah, you can definitely see how these first 4 drivers here are hooked up pretty well, and they're making pretty good time as you see Kyle Cooper kind of slide out from behind the 20 of Kroll there. But that inside lane, Coughlin and Smith are hooked up nose to tail, and they are hardly moving. It's almost like they're moving as one unit there. We'll see how long that lasts, as you're going to want to get some air on the nose of that pushing machine there.
Yeah, I like how they're as you see Coughlin bump drafting Austin Smith, and it's okay to bump draft, but you really don't want to be pushing into the corner. We got trouble. Joshua Neal, that's a tough break for him. He's involved. He's gonna get a tow to the pit.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Rocco Stallone up and down the track there. Oh, just got loose, went up and down the track, off of the 21, the 33 again. You just can't buy anything, and Diego Rodriguez gets loose. Joshua Neal locks the brakes up, turns down, just can't get out of the way as he gets hit there. Looks like Michael Brooks is still sliding through too.
You're just carrying so much speed to the quarters, no matter what you do. If you don't see it in time, you're not going to be able to react in time.
Definitely not something you want to see, especially with how they're racing up front here. But Gordon Spain involved in the first lap incident, and then back here again, nothing of his doing, just kind of got caught there as Sloan kind of lost the handle on that machine there.
Yeah, this track again has a lot of grip, and they got a lot of they got cold tires. They're on cold tires essentially, so these guys are going to be they're going to be to where they need to take it a little bit easier on those runs.
Definitely. Well, while we got a minute, let's see if we can do this real quick. Hey, Austin, you there?
Yeah, I got you, Mike.
Hey, man, how's it going? Couple restarts here, still out in front.
Yeah, it's going well. I feel good. I had AJ behind me, he was pushing me well, and I've got my teammate Corey on the outside, so hopefully we can kind of ride this out here for a couple laps, get some green flag runs going. The thing does get a little loose when you're coming into the corner on 3 for sure. So just got to be mindful of that going forward.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on the pole once again, and maybe we'll talk to you towards the end of the race here.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks.
Yep, later, man. That's the race leader pole setter there. Austin Smith giving us a little insight, and that's kind of what we were seeing, you know, coming into 3. Everybody kind of gets a little bit loose there, and that's basically what has led to almost every caution we've seen.
Right, and these guys, they're gonna fight a loose race car all night as you see them getting all doubled up, and I'm hoping that AJ Coughlin has the restart this time as he did last time. I mean, we got 100 or a little less than 96, 95 laps to go in this one before it goes checkered, but so far we've seen a lot. This is living up to what we talked about at the top of the show. It's living up to its hype.
Yeah, it definitely is. As they are stacked back up, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the YouTube chat. Go ahead and call out your favorite driver or a driver you want to see, and we will do our best to get them a little extra screen time here as they are stacked up, ready to go. Smith and Kroll on the front row for Midwest Motorsports. AJ Coughlin just behind them. Kyle Cooper in that outside lane. Pace car makes that left-hand turn. Austin Smith with the button. AJ Coughlin holding on tight to that bumper as they get rolling here. And Coughlin stays right with Austin Smith. A little bit of a jump there from Smith, but nothing too bad as they are still hooked up pretty well. Kroll on the outside is kind of left hanging there as Kyle Cooper said he wanted nothing to do with that outside lane and went right down to the inside.
Yeah, Todd Slaussen's going to try to get up there with Corey Kroll with Santa Claus. Him and Santa Claus are going to try to get up there. And you guys, we got cars everywhere. Some of the guys in the back are starting to push the issue just a little bit. I still think it's a little too early to be aggressive, and that's where you're getting in trouble. And we got to highlight Daniel Honeycutt. He is already up to 8th after starting 9th, and he didn't have the night that he wanted last night, but he's trying to redeem himself here tonight in the Xfinity car.
Everybody's bouncing around up here early as we have a 3-car basically breakaway for the moment. They're starting to pull away. They're half second or so in front of Brandon Puffenbarger. Todd Slauson down on the inside with Kroll behind him. Jarrett Larder behind Puffenbarger. But that group of 3 has hooked up, and they're slowly pulling away here.
Yeah, it almost, Mike, it almost looks like these cars are going to get loose on corner exit coming off of 2 and then corner entry going into 3, almost like Michael said. And it looks like they might be getting a little out of shape on coming into the quad oval, as we're looking at Ronnie Norman there in that Budweiser number 8 Chevrolet as he's paying homage to Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Got the 75 Toyota here of Shane Askew as he is up 14 spots after not taking a qualifying lap, just in front of Truth Hoke there. Also, one of the other biggest movers is Aaron Marquis as he is up 14 as well, running P12. Joshua Neal just chimed in the YouTube chat. Loose all the way around as you see Honeycutt start to make a pass on George Sprinkle there on that high lane.
Yeah, and I think Joshua Neal had a lot of damage after that wreck. And I don't know if he is, I don't know if his fun meter's been pegged or not, but I'm sure it has.
Definitely looks like it's going to be one of those nights here. These guys are all kind of battling back towards the middle of the pack, trying to make their way to the front. Got Daniel Honeycutt and Brandon Puffenbarger up on that high line. Everybody else seems to be trying to stay as close as they can to that low line. As they get a little loose there and out of shape goes Jarrett Larder as he cuts the corner of the quad oval there.
Yeah, and you'll see these guys when they come down the front straight away into the quad oval, they will, it looks like, you know, Honeycutt got below the red line there. And there is no out of bounds on this racetrack, but to my point I was trying to make, well, these guys will use every inch of that quad oval, and it's faster to get a run down the hill, essentially, onto the quad oval than it is to use it like you would a normal racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. You'll see these guys basically use the banking as a to help them get a little more speed coming through that quad oval. Joshua Neal said he has 35 minutes of required, so he'll be sitting there for a little while before he gets back out on track, but he should get out with 30 or so laps left.
Yeah, this is one of those races again that's more than likely a sprint race. So these guys know that they've got to semi be in a hurry, but they can still take their time and make their way to the field.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see them pit a couple times at least. So I'm going to say they're probably going to come down somewhere around, I'm going to say probably around somewhere around lap 40, depending on the rest of this run here. We do have guys that pitted on that first, or on caution on lap 11, so definitely a little bit of different strategies playing out again.
Yeah, I think these guys are starting to settle in now, trying to feel these cars out, see what they have, and see, you know, what is it going to take to get that get up to the front. But nonetheless, it's been all Austin Smith all night long so far.
Yeah, it definitely has. They have not they've not come to the lap record yet for this Xfinity car, so we've got to knock almost a second off of their times they're running right now. Record is held by Jeremy Clements with a 30.657 lap time.
Yeah, Corey Carell, he's trying to make some hay there on the outside as you got Brandon Poffenberger diving up there on the inside. He's going to climb the hill and see if he can get on that second line. And I just think that inside line is a little bit better than the outside line at this point, so we shall see. Yeah,
we'll see if that outside lane starts to come in once they get a a little further in the runs as far as the tire wear goes and stuff like that. Usually the outside lane's a little bit more forgiving on your tires, but at Atlanta, it depends on more how you're driving it versus where you're at on the track.
Yeah, usually whenever I run this track, you know, whether it be in other leagues or an official series, I'm usually about half throttle, you know, not half, but, you know, 3/4, you know, so that's what these guys are probably dealing with. And these Xfinity cars, they drive a little looser on this track than the trucks would, or the next gen cars that you'll see here tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll definitely see some racing tomorrow night. These guys have a tough schedule coming up here, as they have the Chicago Street Course next week, Pocono the week after, and then Richmond. So 3 completely different tracks the next 3 weeks for these guys in the Xfinity and the next gen.
Yeah, the Chicago Street Course, that's going to be a fun race to watch. And you're going to have guys that excel at road courses, and you're going to have some guys that are not going to have so much fun.
It'll be the first test for some of these guys that have just joined this league, heading to that Chicago Street Course. See who shows up and who's able to take away the victory. We got 28 cars here, and looks like 2 retirees right now, Rocco Stallone and Joshua Neal. Joshua Neal just said, yeah, I think I'm done. As we're under caution, looks like Brandon Honeycutt. See what happened to Brandon here. Let me go to Brandon.
Whoa, heads up driving.
There we go. Oh, Alex Teff got into the wall. Brandon Honeycutt, nowhere really to go. Went down to the middle and then just kind of drifted up. Got sandwiched between 2 Teffs there. Truth Hoke skims by, it looks like. Diego Rodriguez into the back of Shane Askew. Dennis Kane gets by. Spain is by. Shane Backler gets by. Lee Campbell into the back of the 3 there. But definitely rough start. Everybody's going to come in and make their pit stop.
Yeah, Austin Smith's down for service. Coughlin's down for service. Cooper's down for service. Rocco Stallone, no relation to Sylvester. His fun meter's pegged out for the night.
But look at who got out first.
Great pit stop by Coughlin.
I wonder what he did on his service. He only spent 11 seconds in his pit box. Austin Smith spent almost 15. So Coughlin there with is going to have the button when they head back to green here.
Yeah, I'm excited for these guys. Coughlin, he's been slowly improving, steadily improving every night out that he's been on track, and he's getting better and better and better, putting in the work. Michael Smith says 2 tires.
I would have thought it would have been shorter than that if he only did 2 tires, but you never know. Tony Rodriguez checking in. Cheering on. Let me find him for you. Diego. He's up 3 spots from where he started. Currently running P13 in that 24 Chevy.
And he's paying homage to the Rainbow Warriors this week on that number 24 Exalta Chevrolet.
Well, since everybody came down on that caution, we really don't know exactly what a fuel run's going to be or how close those guys were to making that a complete run. Is looks like we have everybody checking up down on that inside lane a little bit there. So it gets stacked up here. So it'll be interesting to see if Coughlin lets Austin Smith kind of go in front of him and they start working together again, or if Smith slides down behind Coughlin there. Almost together on as they head through the quad oval. Coughlin with the button. Waits almost to the end and then gets going. Looks like he's going to try and slide up in front of Smith, but Smith going a little bit too fast as Todd Slauson is giving him a push towards the front here.
Yeah, I definitely do like that restart. It seemed to me like the inside line had the advantage that time.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that as Todd Slauson went from the high line down to the low line, and he is now pushing Coughlin. Kyle Cooper up into third on the outside next to Slauson, pushing Smith towards the front. Guys are stacked back up once again here. But that high line's starting to make a little ground as you have Smith, Cooper, and Puffenbarger up on the high line there, as Smith and Cooper are able to get down, but Puffenbarger stuck on the high line, has roll behind him.
And these guys are starting to kind of sort this out. We're on lap 34, halfway through 34, almost 35.
Yeah, they definitely are sorting out, and you can see those guys get a little loose. Let's see if we can jump on here. Jump on the 20 here. You see that outside lane working. Kind of see how that outside lane gets pushed a little bit higher. And if you're not ready for it, right towards about 3/4 of the way through the turn, that back end wants to kind of slide around.
Yeah, I can definitely see that too as we're looking on the front bumper. Corey Crawls love this shot.
They definitely are trying to get that outside lane to work. They're trying to slide down and slide draft as much as they can on the straightaways, and then, you know, stay relatively even, carry some speed down through the corners.
Daniel Honeycutt making that move to get to the inside there of Jarrett Lauder there, coming out of 4.
Josh, are you gonna have to adopt the Honeycutt paint scheme for the Xfinity series now?
I mean, someone's got to do it. Why not him, right? We'll start an online petition for it.
Slauson gets into Coughlin there, it looked like.
Coughlin wrecked about 3 times right there.
I don't know how he was able to stay there.
What a save. Can we bring up a replay of that? That's too good not to watch again.
Let's see. Oh, I could get to the right guy here. Oh, it looks like Todd Slauson didn't touch him.
Looks like he
Slauson
just got
did-
out of shape.
but he saved it there. And then he gets sideways again. Todd Slauson sideways in front of him, able to save it. Let's see if we can jump here real quick. Go to the nose. It looks like Slauson just starts to lose it about the same time that Coughlin does. And that's just going to bring it around. But they just, everybody avoids everybody and we stay green.
That was probably the best save. That was the move of the race right there.
Working our way through lap 42 here. Austin Smith up front, Kyle Cooper, Brandon Puffenbarger. Looks like Corey Kroll. Corey Kroll down to the inside as well. Daniel Honeycutt up on the high side as Jarrett Larder behind him. Those two are the only ones within like the top 15 cars that are in that high line.
Here comes two more cars. It looks like it's going to be the 26th of Jimmy Carter. And I don't know who's coming with them. Oh, Diego Rodriguez and Gordon Spain's with them.
Yeah, Diego Rodriguez up 5 spots now, trying to get inside that top 10. We're going to see if he's able to do it as he gets a little loose there coming off the corner. The 26 of Jeremy Carter is able to stay off him, and they stay rolling. Andrew Teft hanging out in 13th. The Gary Marquis is the last of this group. They got about a 2-second gap back to Matthew Jarrett, Ronnie Norman, and Michael Brooks. Not exactly sure what happened to all those drivers back there, but there is a huge gap. And they're usually relatively quick, especially Ronnie Norman.
Yeah, as you see, as we're looking at Austin Smith and Kyle Cooper, just they're not running away with this thing. Not by any means. But that outside line, it looks like it gets organized and then it falls apart.
Well, it's one of those things when you're running that high line, you have to drive the car a lot more than you do if you're down on the low line, or at least it feels that way. As Kroll and Honeycutt are side by side. And Diego Rodriguez goes around.
And he's going to do the slide for life. Here comes Honeycutt. Missed him.
So into the corner, gets loose, hits the outside wall coming to exit. Jeremy Carter goes down to the middle. Gordon Spain might have to adopt the paint as he is. Oh, no, he avoided that one. He barely avoided that one.
Yeah, as you see Diego Rodriguez doing the slide for life there. And he's going to hold it down. Hold the brake, hold the brake. Here comes Brandon Honeycutt. Missed him.
Oh. Let's see if we get about half the field headed to pit lane, it looks like. Got about 17 laps on this fuel and tire run here.
I think if cautions keep happening like this, that they're going to make it on one more stop, and then that's it.
Yeah, if the cautions come out, they're going to try and push it as far as they can.
Austin Smith tonight has been the class of the field right now in his first 46 laps. I'm very impressed with his driving tonight, as he's shown these guys why he wants to be up there, why he wants to be leading these points.
Yeah, he definitely is out here trying to reel in Andrew Teft. I mean, as long as he stays within the top 12, he'll make the chase, and then everything resets, and it's just down to those last few races to see who's going to bring home the championship. So we'll see if they can keep the momentum going here.
But nonetheless, Mike, the lights are going to go out on the Iracing pace car, as we're going to take them down to turn number 1. To get ready to come back to green here. We're going to come back to green on lap 48. So we're going to have Smith and Cooper on the front row, and we're going to have Pearl and Poffenberger on the second row. Jarrett Larder has dropped 1 position. He's going to be on the outside of that third row next to Daniel Honeycutt.
And Josh in the chat saying playing it safe. It's definitely going to see how long everybody elects to try and play it safe, because you know that cautions can happen at any time here. Like they're trying to get them stacked up. Biggest mover of the night is currently sitting P10 right now. And that's that 75 Toyota chain askew here. Pace car makes that left-hand turn. Austin Smith with the button. Puffenbarger right behind him as they roll through the Geico restart zone. Austin Smith down and away about halfway through. We're going to see if he's going to stay down there with Puffenbarger or slide up in front of Cooper. It looks like he's going to stay on that load line. That load line seems to be the place to be as Kroll goes down on the inside as well.
Yeah, Austin Smith, he's out there all by himself, and the field's going to come and pick him up here, as you got Poffenbarger, Kroll, Honeycutt all in line with them, and Kyle Cooper is the unfortunate one that's hung out to dry right now, as Garrett Waters trying to get up there feverishly to help him out.
Get some help here from Daniel Honeycutt. Honeycutt goes to that high line. He seems to like it. He's been running up there quite a bit as this race kind of rolls along here. But he's probably spent more time in that high line than anybody else on track. Kyle Cooper trying to get down next to that 5 machine of Puffenbarger, trying to side draft and get the momentum to get up to the front.
Yeah, as you see Austin Smith leading this inside line, and Daniel Honeycutt's gonna go up there and help the 73 car of Kyle Cooper, who's running second right now. And these guys are battling pretty hard right now, and man, I got to tell you, these guys are some talent. Oops.
Oh, whoa, goes Smith.
Trouble. This is the big one.
There goes half the field.
It doesn't look like too much damage to Austin Smith's car. It looks up until you get to the back end of the car.
Oh, Kyle Cooper into Puffenbarger. That's going to send Austin Smith around. Roll. Puffenbarger goes up the track, hits Honeycutt. There is Ronnie Norman in there. Dennis Kane. It looks like AJ Coughlin might have got through there.
Todd Slauson, Brandon Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith.
And Cossing caught a piece of Kinsley Smith. Man, that's just a tough break for a lot of these drivers tonight.
So AJ's view here. That's some heads-up driving there from the driver of the 11 Chevy, AJ Coughlin, as he's basically is able to get through it almost unscathed there. Take a look from Kinsley Smith's point of view here. Sees everybody start sliding around. Tries to go down to avoid it. Gets a little bump there from Kroll, slides through.
Yeah, I thought Kinsley Smith was going to run right out of real estate there.
Trying to keep it down, trying to keep it down, trying to keep it down. Nothing there. Let's see if we can get another view here. Here's a view from the 26 machine. Let's go inside here. All heck breaking loose. Squeaks by there. There goes Kroll spinning around. 26 slides on by. Wow. Okay, I thought AJ had the best drive. I don't know. Maybe Jeremy did. Let's see if we can get a different look here. Weaves his way right through traffic.
How did he avoid that?
I have no idea. Gotta think, as they're ready to go already, Geico restart zone, Jeremy Carter down and away. We had a little too much fun there watching all those replays on that big crash. Jeremy Carter up 23 spots after the heads-up drive, and he is out front. Andrew Teft in second, Gordon Spain, Aaron Marquez up here as well.
Craig Krell says he thinks he just died. And Joshua O'Neill said you had it saved for a minute, Corey. I can believe that. That was like a night at the Waffle House.
Well, look who's 3 wide. Austin Smith said he was going to force it 3 wide. Well, there he goes, forcing it 3 wide a little bit as he drives between Campbell and looks like Ronnie Norman there. Looks like he's going to try 3 wide again, go between Cooper and Diego Rodriguez.
Yeah, Austin Smith is coming, so watch out.
He's going back up to the front. He wants to get out in front as Diego Rodriguez checks that outside wall.
Diego, that wall is still there, buddy. It didn't go anywhere.
And he goes 3 wide again between Shane Askew and Matthew Jarrett. Matthew Jarrett gets loose, goes down to the apron. Kyle Cooper loose as well, goes up to the high side. Kinsley Smith goes down to the middle. And Austin Smith 3 wide in the middle once again. And he is now up into third, right behind Andrew Teft. Jeremy Carter down to the inside. Smith is coming, and he is coming for the lead.
I think he was shot out of a cannon, and he's just driving like an upset teenager.
Well, I think if he was doing that, I'm pretty sure Kyle Cooper would have been wrecked. But Not that Cooper did anything really wrong. It's just one of those things. You're side drafted, and then all of a sudden, there's another car there.
Here comes
On board here with Austin Smith.
Is he gonna do it again? Is he gonna force 3 wide?
Looks like he's going to stay on the high line, though. Let Andrew Teft go down to the low side. And here comes the pass for the lead for Austin Smith. Side by side they go. Smith and Teft. Smith wants that lead back, and he is going to get scored as the race leader that time by.
Austin Smith with the power move coming to the lead in the turn 1. Andrew Tuff right there with them. These two are going to put on an absolute barn burner in these last 40-something laps.
Yeah, back and forth they go. Marquise in the high line. Like he's going to try and help Smith. It'll be interesting to see if Smith slides down in front of Andrew Teft. Oh, I want to thank Thomas there for the whoa, as Marquise gets a little loose, slides up the track. Looks like Thomas for the shout out for the 26, letting us get that to the viewers here as he is up in race control. I don't think half the field has their faster pair anymore. I think the only one that might be Carter, because I don't think he got involved in that first lap caution.
And Tuff at the point. Austin Smith, this is really back and forth.
Back and forth, and neither one of them really have anybody helping them as far as the draft goes, as they're almost a car length back. You got to be able to get a little bit closer and push that, you know, basically push the that air bubble out of the way.
Yeah, right now Andrew Tuft has the 26 car of Jeremy Carter, as they are Ford teammates. And Austin Smith, he's on Toyota Island out there. He doesn't have nobody except for the willingness to get the lead and make a power move on Andrew Tuft going into turn number 1.
Yeah, Austin Smith still trying to battle for that lead. Still trying to hang on is Andrew Teft. Marquis keeps getting loose, and I think that's allowing Teft to kind of creep back in. If Marquis can get up there and give Smith a shove, I think that the battle for the lead is going to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, Marquis, I don't like the way that car looks coming off the corner. It does not look right. It does not look comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting looser on corner exit, especially coming out of 2 there. It looks like he slides around just a little bit. They try and get the car back underneath him. He's close enough to try and give Austin Smith a push for the lead.
Yeah, I just wonder if anybody told these guys it was only lap 65 and not the last lap. Because these guys are racing like it's the last lap.
Yeah, we know they're going to have to pit at least one more time from everything that usually happens here in this league.
These guys are absolutely drag racing down the straightaway.
Kyle Cooper just slid down in front of Gordon Spain there. Almost cut the nose off as he was trying to, Spain was trying to close the gap back to Cooper there.
And Thomas says he's disappointed. Corey was hoping for a catch finish car.
There is still time for that to happen, Thomas. Especially the way these guys are racing. They are all over the track. Austin Smith and Aaron Marquis. Now,
got that high line moving. Austin Smith drives down right in front of Andrew Teft, and he is going to take that bottom. He loved the bottom. He's been there almost all race, and I thought as soon as he was able to get down, that is where it was going to wind up. Andrew Teft is going to fill in behind him, and we'll see if these two cars can start pulling away here. Cooper trying to decide which way he wants to go as Jeremy Carter gets a little loose in front of the 73 machine. St. Askew up 21 spots. Aaron Marquis up 22. And they are trying to drive to the front here is the 41 and 75 machines.
They're trying to get that outside line organized again. As you got 41 Aaron Marquis leading that line. And you notice, Mike, that the outside line, whenever Austin Smith was up there, that line was way more organized than it is now. So it seems like Austin Smith has the trust of his competitors enough to draft with these guys.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of bouncing around a little bit as Teft bounces around as well, coming into turn one. Looks like they might be getting towards the end of this special tire run here, as they're sliding around a little more than they want to. Especially the 41 of Aramark, he's hanging on pretty well. Looks like he's only pitted on lap 30. So he's gone quite a ways.
Yeah, Austin Smith, Andrew Teft. These guys are the class of the field. And Andrew Teft right now is showing you guys why he's the points leader. Why he's on top right now and why he's got the target on his back. No pun intended.
Yeah, Thomas wants to get beat up after the race. Gonna curse the 75. Shane Askew's putting on a heck of a drive after not qualifying. He's up 22 spots, running inside the top 5, and in that outside lane he has teammate Daniel Honeycutt behind him. It looks like Daniel Honeycutt got a little bit loose with Kinsley Smith on the push, and Jeremy Carter keeps sliding up just a little bit, about halfway through the corner. So definitely want to watch that 26 if you're on his outside as they're coming through the corners here.
Yeah, these guys will almost cut that tri-oval. They'll cut the corners on that quad oval and make it as straight as possible. But that inside line, it's getting going. As you see Jeremy Carter jump to the outside line. And that Shell Pennzoil number 26.
Yeah, as he jumped to the outside line, looks like Aaron Marquis got a little rough there and went towards the outside wall as they are trying to figure out where they want to be as they work their way through probably 25 laps or so on this fuel run here.
I think we got a little over 26 to go in this race. We might get to see green flag pit stops, Mike.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be, I want to say, a strategy call here. When do you come in? Do you go until basically you can't go no more, and then come in hoping that maybe there's a caution, resets the whole field? Or do you try and short pit, come down a little early, get those fresher tires, and maybe separate yourself from the field on a green flag run like that?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know about you, but I would run it until it doesn't go anymore. Try to make it as far as you can and hope for a caution in between.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the strategy if you're up front. Joshua Neal says stay out as long as possible.
I'm with Joshua.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I would do. But if you're in the back of the field and that's your only choice, I mean, as far as trying to get a win, you know, maybe you roll the dice. I mean, the gap right now from first through 22nd is a little over 6 seconds. To 21st is only a little over 2.25, so.
Yeah, these guys ain't going nowhere fast. It's not like they can run away with it. 'Cause, I mean, you definitely don't want that to happen. But if you're the later we go on these runs, you're hoping a caution comes out eventually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what's the worst that can happen if you're in the back of the field like Brandon Puffenbarger? He's 2.5 back. Matthew Jarrett's the 6.5 in 21st, 22nd. I mean, worst case scenario, you wind up basically where you're at anyway. As Truth Hoke is down a couple laps, Corey Ball's down a couple laps, George Sprinkle called it a night, Dennis Kane called it a night. So we got 4 drivers that have called it a night already, and 22 on the lead lap. Looks like we're going to start seeing green flag pit stops momentarily here, as see if the leaders are the ones that are going to come down first, or if it's going to be the back half of the field.
Not gonna be the leaders.
Nope, leader are still rolling. Looks like the 41 of Aaron Marquis, Jarrett Larder comes in, and we're under caution.
Oh, tough break. Looks like
So 41's down on the apron. John Backler. It looks like Aaron's just coming down pit lane. Like I said, he last pitted on lap 30, so he needed to come down. But looks like he just wasn't going there. Let's see. Maybe I missed something. Hang on. We'll go back a little ways here. Nah.
Oh,
like,
he locked him up trying to get on pit road.
it looks like he just missed pit lane there. Let's see what happened to Jarrett, though. Everybody's going to come down pit lane, get their tires. Oh, Jarrett Larder got sent.
Ooh, that's a hard lick. Give that one to Austin Smith on that. Oh, Kinsley Smith.
Kinsley Smith getting scored as the first off of pit lane. It must have done 2 tires as well there, it looks like, as he's only spent 10 seconds in his pit box. Austin Smith spent 15.
Joshua Neal says, talking from experience, you have 0 control down on that apron.
So it is going to be an all Smith front row. Kinsley on the inside, Austin on the outside, Kyle Cooper and Andrew Teft in row 2. Row 3 is going to be Shane Askew and Jeremy Carter, Alex Teft and Gordon Spain. Then go back to Brandon Honeycutt and Lee Campbell. And talk about a recovery drive here for the 11 Chevy of AJ Coughlin right now. He is running P11 or 12 depending on where or when you look at the board here.
Certain as we're going to come back to green with about 23 laps to go, so it's essentially going to be go time. That was the last stop. These guys are good the rest of the way.
I definitely like the chances for Austin Smith. He's been running pretty well all night. He's in the front row. We'll see if he's going to be able to get out in front of Kinsley Smith here. Kinsley Smith does have the button as they get ready to head to the green flag here. Kinsley Smith on the inside, rolling through the Geico restart zone. He is down and away almost at the last second, so Austin Smith had to slow up and wait for the 15 to go, but he is hooked up with Kyle Cooper. Kyle Cooper gave him a pretty big shove earlier in the race, and they are working that high line once again. We'll see if Austin Smith's going to be able to get in front of Kinsley, as Kinsley has Andrew Teft working with him on that bottom line.
2 by 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Everybody's got a dancing partner. Austin Smith working with the Burger King car, and he was flame grilled and flame broiled, served up like a Whopper.
Now he got just enough to get in front of Kinsley Smith, slid right down to that bottom lane, and that is where he is going to put all his chips in, is running that bottom, trying to get as much as he can out of that 23 Toyota.
Don't look now, but here comes Andrew Teft working that low line also. I think he's gonna ride down there until he gets to where he can get ahead of the Kinsley Smith and Austin Smith, as he's looking up high, low, in the middle. Soon he might try to test the waters out on that high line.
He's been running down low as well. He seems to be content just kind of riding it out there. He does have a pretty good driver behind him in Shane Askew, as Kinsley Smith gets turned and showed us Shane Askew. So Thomas, you are in trouble now. It is all your fault. He does not have a 0X anymore.
Sarah Smile says, "The party may resume. I have returned."
Oh. Let's see what happened here. Actually, let's go to Andrew and go to the nose of that machine. Oh, just gets loose.
Yeah, no wrongdoing, just on cold tires.
Oh, Gordon Spain runs into the back of Shane Askew and sets off the big one here again. AJ Coughlin involved. Lee Campbell, Diego Rodriguez, Ronnie Norman as well. Let's see. Go back here. Take a look here. This is a view from the 33 machine of Gordon Spain here. Kinsley Smith gets spun. Check up, and not enough. And that's going to send Gordon Spain into the back of the 75.
chain reaction after that one.
Oh, teammates go nose to nose there. Oh, didn't see anything until it was too late.
Yeah, you'll have that on them big jobs there, buddy. Nonetheless, we're doubled back up.
Lights are out on the pace car. Austin Smith choosing the low line. His dancing partner for most of the race is up on the high side. We'll see if Kyle Cooper tries to slide down behind Austin Smith or if he's going to stay up there with Andrew Teft as they work their way through 17 to go when we take the green flag here.
And this is where you're going to see guys make moves that they normally would not make.
And this is also where you see the cautions breed cautions come from too.
Yes. So you got Austin Smith on the front row, Kyle Cooper on the to his outside, Jeremy Carter in row 2, Andrew Teft on his outside. We'll take it back to Alex Teft in row 3 and John Schullen-Bachler in on the outside of row 3. As Austin Smith is going to pull them belts one more time. Car makes the left-hander, and on the loud pedal is Austin Smith as we go to green. And
Yeah, I was gonna say Austin got a pretty good jump there as Cooper and Carter are side by side. Andrew Teft doesn't seem like he's trying to push it right now. He's just trying to get down to the bottom lane. He doesn't want to be up high. He wants nothing to do with that lane. So he slides back down into 5th spot behind his brother, Alex, and then he jumps right back out to the high side.
It's almost like he got a good run on that high line coming into the trial. And Alex is going to go up there with him.
And I got the Teft brothers on the high side. Austin Smith, Jeremy Carter, and Kyle Cooper. 1, 2, 3 down on that low line. John Scheinbachler in P6. Then you got Jarrett Larder and Michael Brooks in there as well.
You see Jeremy Carter side drafting Andrew Teft. Here comes Team Teft working together on the high line.
Jared Larder gets a little loose, slides down to the inside, able to stay off of Kyle Cooper. That slows down the outside line just a little bit. Austin Smith is still leading for the moment. Andrew Teft to the high side by side they go through 3 and 4 here. And Teft will get that one.
So look now, we got the battle of the fast food restaurants brewing.
You know how long it would take me to drive to either one of those fast food restaurants?
A couple of hours, I'm sure.
Yep. Austin Smith still running up here. Like Jeremy Carter got a little out of shape, but was able to reel it back in. The Teft brothers are continuing to work that outside lane as they are hooked up pretty well here. And Andrew Teft is going to take the lead. Just see how close those guys are getting as they are drafting through the straightaways here.
Give him a nice little bump there. Yeah, Austin Smith, he's in a sea of Fords right now.
I don't think it's funny. I don't think there's too many that run the Toyota in the next gen either. It's just kind of weird because there's only, what, 3 Toyotas in this whole field of 28 cars.
Yeah, and thanks to Thomas, one of them is all the way back down there in 19th with the Jinx.
Austin Smith still holding strong. 10 laps to go here from Atlanta in the Racers Elite Xfinity Series. Teff Brothers on the high side. Austin Smith and Jeremy Carter down on the low side. Truth Hope goes around sideways. It looks like we're going to stay green still. It looks like Truth pushed the eject button immediately.
That's good on Truth that he had the wherewithal to do that.
I just saw him go sideways. I don't know who else was involved there, but
and we got Andrew Teff, Alex Teff working together. This is the battle we were talking about last night that we wanted to see between Andrew and Alex, and I think they're trying to make that happen. As these front runners are putting on a show for everybody.
so I wonder how long it will be before Alex tries to make a move and pull down to the inside on Andrew to win the race here. As Jarrett Larder's into that outside wall, as he's going to go backwards through the field. Diego Rodriguez. Oh, that's not Diego. That is Matthew Jarrett, who's able to avoid him.
Here comes the Teff train on the outside. Choo choo.
Andrew Teff got a little bit loose. Alex Teff tried to avoid him. Looks like Kyle Cooper goes down to the apron a little bit, trying to save that 73 machine, but Jeremy Carter is all over that back bumper of the 23 of Austin Smith as we're 7 to go, going to be 6 as they come to the line here in the quad oval.
Joshua Neal says redemption tomorrow night.
Well, we'll see how that works here, as it is the next gens. Sometimes those are a little bit more snappy when you start to lose it. We'll see if these guys are able to keep that wheel straight and true as Kyle Cooper gets pushed up into the high line by Jeremy Carter.
Austin Smith has help with Jeremy Carter there in the 26 car. But here comes the Teff train on the outside. They're chugging along.
Yeah, Austin Smith is going to need somebody to get up to that rear bumper and help him push that bottom line back to the front. Andrew Teft and Alex Teft are hooked up, and Kyle Cooper jumped up there, and he's been a pretty good pusher most of the night as well. Kinsley Smith back there. Looks like Matthew Jarrett going inside outside a little bit. Jarrett Larder back down in the bottom lane as they are 3 wide back here with Shane Backler, Cooper, and Larder. Larder winds up sending
He sent the 9 car. Oh, Shane Backler. If you're gonna look on the replay,
Larder clear down below that red line, still down there, still on the inside, side by side. It looks like Shane Backler just turns down into the 2 as they were coming into the corner. It looks like maybe he didn't see him still there. And Jarrett Larder just trying to stay on the racing surface, not giving up his position. And that's going to spin the 9 around.
And the 80 car got a piece of it. Looks like the Colonel lost out on that one tonight.
So we got top half of the field. Everybody stayed out as they were not anywhere near that caution there. Austin
this
Smith,
is-
Andrew Teft.
This is going to set us up for green, white, checkered, my friend.
I'll get stacked back up.
Which should be coming to one to go this time by.
Definitely looks like they are going to get there.
So the way the green and white checker will work is we will come down to 2 to go. And then once the leader crosses the line to get the white flag, the next flag wins the race. Doesn't matter if there's a wreck, as long as the leader is taking the white flag, that's the race. Whoever's in front at the time of the caution will become your winner. And Mike, Austin Smith, he said tonight, he's like, I'm going to put that car 3 wide. I'm going to make moves that I normally don't make. But he is set on winning this race tonight. He's like, I'm going to win, do whatever it takes tonight.
Yeah, Austin Smith is going to have to do that. I mean, Chris from Full Send in the chat saying that the red line is supposed to be out of bounds. Well, technically, but as long as you don't improve your position, it's not really doing anything. And he really didn't improve his position. He was just down there side by side. So it's one of those iffy things as they get ready to go. Austin Smith with a pretty good jump. Teft brothers are still hooked up, though, as they get ready to go. 2 to go. Austin Smith out to a little bit of a lead. That might be a bit of detriment, especially if the Teft brothers can get hooked up here and get that momentum as they come down the backstretch.
Oh, caution.
Jeremy Carter.
And that's not what Austin wanted to see. I don't know how many attempts that they get, but
Andrew Teft out there in the middle. Side drafting a little bit. Drifts up the track as they're coming down the backstretch. It looks like they both kind of come together on that seam.
Let's see if we can get another. Andrew Teff just gets pile drive there by, looks like Kinsley Smith.
Yeah, I think that car got KO'd.
Let's take a view here from the nose of Kinsley Smith here. Yeah, it looks like they both kind of go to the same area, but
We're gonna try attempt a second attempt.
yeah, I don't think they're going to count the first one. But I think we still had a couple laps left there. Might only have. I think they might have 2. I think next year. I think next year they're moving to 1. So.
And I think they might be doubling up right this lap. So if you're Austin Smith, you do not want to see that 43 car next to you.
Yeah, definitely not.
Attempt number 2 at a green-white checkered. Attempt number 2.
Looks like about half the field is out of the race.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun meters that have been pegged out. And I believe this is probably going to shake up the points too.
So we got Alex Teft on the high side, Austin Smith down on the inside with Kyle Cooper. Kyle Cooper's pushed Smith several times here. I gotta see something here. We got. Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. Aaron Marquis up here in 4th position without a hood on that ride. Pace car makes a left-hand turn. Austin Smith with the button. It's about halfway through, and he is down and rolling. Kyle Cooper staying right with him. Alex Teft left all alone basically on the high side. Has about a car length and a half as he slides down in front of Buffenbarger. And here they go with 2 laps to go. Ian Campbell trying to stay up high, stay out of the way, it looked like, for a little bit coming through the corner. And they will take that white flag. Next flag will end the race. Kyle Cooper, Austin Smith. Austin Smith wants to win this thing as he can definitely close the gap on the points. Kyle Cooper, inside, outside. Looks like he's trying to just get a push and get it out far enough where it is just going to be down to Cooper and Smith. But here comes Alex Teft as they come out of the corner, and it is going to be Austin Smith, Kyle Cooper, and Alex Teft. 1, 2, 3.
That was a good race.
Definitely.
And a congratulatory bump. Congratulatory bump, I should say.
Austin Smith is going to win. Diego Rodriguez said he ran out of gas on the second to last lap. Daniel Honeycutt said, "Oh my God, I finished the race." Well, half the field got DQ'd out of it, it looked like there. So,
Right.
Midwest Motorsports with the victory. Let's see if we can get some of these guys in the chat here. I can close it down, Alan.
Okay, perfect. I gotta go to Walmart. So.
All right, let's see if we can get third place up here in the booth. Alex, Mike up in the booth, man. How is it going?
Not too bad.
Well, you were able to make quite a run, up 18 spots, finish in the top 3, avoid disaster at every turn. How's the racing out there?
Overall, it was good. Obviously, yeah, had the super speedway big ones, which are expected. But for the most part, it was pretty good, clean racing. Cars are hard to handle, kind of all over the place for the most part. But yeah, no, just kept the nose clean, and the goal was to stay up front, and I did fairly well for the most part.
Yeah, it seemed like once you got up there, you were kind of hanging around inside the top 10. Good run tonight. Got a pretty good points day here. Any thoughts as we look forward to next week and the Chicago road course?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be really interesting. I don't know how many people have actually run there. I know I've done some practice there a little bit, probably 6 months ago, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your third place finish. Anybody you want to thank before I get you out of here tonight?
Thank you guys over at Sim Racing Media for doing the broadcast all the time. Thank the league, Races Elite. Thank my friends and my girlfriend and all the viewers that watch all the time.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again.
Thank you.
Jump up here, see if we can get Kyle Cooper down here. Kyle, Mike in the booth, man. How is it going?
Not too bad. Can't complain about another podium finish.
Definitely, man. You were pushing anybody who would get in front of you. Seemed like you were comfortable back there, just kind of giving everybody a push and trying to improve your position as much as possible. Was that kind of the thought going into the race?
Yeah, at Atlanta Dega, I like being the pusher and not so much pushing, and I was fine with pushing Andrew all the way, basically the whole race, or Austin, I'm sorry. And then, yeah, one restart, I was outside of him, and I was just trying to side draft, and he got a bump draft, and we kind of converged, and it took the field out, which I felt like a squid, because you never want to spin somebody out, especially on a straightaway in front of the pack. And it was just, I don't know, it was a deal where we all just seemed to merge towards one spot. So I'll take the blame for that. But yeah, once I saw Austin get back by, I just wanted to get behind him and push him, because he could definitely hold this. He could hold a real steady wheel, and I knew I could, not have to worry about him drifting lanes. And yeah, it worked out for me. Was able to get up to second there, and yeah, just brought her home and tried to put a move on him at the finish, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't jeopardize anything to fall off the box again. So second place.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again. Anybody else want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Michael Stroll, chance 3. And yeah, that's about it. So excited to be up here, and I think we're going road racing next weekend, so I'll have to definitely try to spin some laps before next week because it's not quite my forte.
I think you're not the only one from what kind of what I've heard. You guys are going to that Chicago street course, so gonna be an interesting race next week.
Yeah, I guess I better buy the track for next week, eh?
Yeah, I gotta do the same for the broadcast. So, all right, talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, let's see if we can get the race winner back up here in the booth. Austin, Mike in the booth, man. How's it going?
It's going really well, Mike. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Looked like you had a little bit of a brown pants moment there about halfway through the race or thereabouts. Were able to come back and win the race, but you kept your promise to force it 3 wide. So.
Yes, I definitely did. I was just thinking that I had a little bit of emotion in me from getting spun, and I was like, you know what, I'm not sitting back here. So I kind of forced the issue a little bit in the middle of the race, but was able to get up to the front, and then it was smooth sailing from there. So shout out to Kyle though. He paid his dues. He definitely pushed me to the win there.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like when you two got together, there was not much that was going to stop you. Kind of like when Andrew and Alex were together, they were working pretty well on that high line till that late race incident. But yeah, you wound up going front to the back and then back to the front. Looks like you got just out to the front just in time before the big one kind of occurred there.
Yeah, I definitely escaped that big wreck for sure, and so I guess it was worth it to push it 3 wide. I mean, like you said, I told everybody I was going to do it, so I stuck my nose in there and got me to the front. So good race. It was a good win.
Definitely. Well, as you get your win and look forward to next week at the Chicago Street Course, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think you know how I'm feeling about that one. It's going to be kind of a mess, and if I could tell anybody to do anything right now, it would be to start practicing on that course because it is going to be tough.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. We'll definitely be in for a little bit of a show, but congrats again on your win tonight. Anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yeah, thanks to you and Alan for doing the broadcast. Always a great show. Racers Elite for the league. It seems like we're getting some better races going on here, which I really appreciate. And shout out to my team, Midwest Motorsports. We all kind of worked together when we could. I had Jeremy behind me. He was pushing me pretty well. So yeah, thanks to those guys. And thanks to all my family and friends for tuning in and watching.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and I will talk to you maybe next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
Yep. All right, so that will do it for the interviews. Let's go ahead and do the rundown here. Austin Smith with the win, Kyle Cooper second, Alex Teft in third, Brandon Puffenbarger, Daniel Honeycutt round out that top 5. Then you got John Shane Backler, Matthew Jarrett, and Kinsley Smith round out the lead lap cars. Aaron Marquis back there in 9th, Ian Campbell in 10th, Diego Rodriguez, Michael Brooks, Corey Kroll, AJ Coughlin, Shane Askew, Andrew Teft, Jeremy Carter, Brandon Honeycutt round out that top 18. 19th is Jarrett Larder, Lee Campbell, Truth Oak, Ronnie Norman, Gordon Spain, Todd Slauson, George Sprinkle, Dennis Kane, Rocco Stallone, and Joshua Neal rounds out the field. So that will do it here from Atlanta. As we said in the interviews, we're going to go street racing in Chicago next week. If you guys want more action from the Racers Elite series, you're going to tune in tomorrow night and see the next gen cars here at Atlanta as well.
But from all the drivers of the Racers Elite Xfinity Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys good night, and I'll see you next time.